Pedro, how much of a disappointment is it that Leo Wallace won't make the League Cup game or the Old Firm game on Saturday?
It's always a disappointment when you lose players, when you cannot count with all the players. I like to have those good doubts when we have everyone to decide it. And beside that, Lee is our captain. So at this moment, he's heading to Manchester to be assessed, and we hope to have the evaluation maybe later today and see how he's going to be, how much time he's going to be absent.
After having such big games this week with Old Firm on Saturday and the League
First
Cup,
this one
and then the Old Firm as well. Having your captain not on the field, how will that affect?
We have five captains. And I can tell you that on this game we are just going to count with two captains. So they are going to be Dorrans and Bruno Alves. So Nico is not also on the game, Ken is not also on the game. It's our decision, so it goes like that. We have five. One of them will use the armband.
And it's a good chance for Declan John as well in that position to show what he can do as well.
What you are going to see he can do, we know that he can do. So that's a different situation. When we finished the window, we talked that we were very happy with the squad because we were having options, solutions, and players that can play on different positions, or if one is not on, the other one will be able to play. So that's the situation now with Deck. He got with 10 minutes, so he didn't play that much with Cardiff City, so he's a little bit out of rhythm, but he's one player that we trust totally, and he's going to give us different things than Lee, because they have different characteristics, even playing on the same position. So it's one player that is having all our confidence, and tomorrow for sure is going to be on the pitch and do a very good game, like he did on Friday.
Can he play 90 minutes in a week after having played his first game in a long
if
time?
he cannot play, we still have an option. But I'm not trying to guess what's going to happen on Saturday before the things happen on Tuesday. Now he's ready to play. He's going to play tomorrow, and after we'll still have 4 days to recover. And as you know, when we have 4 days, the first day is for them to recover, especially here mentally, and about the tactical fatigue that they are supposed to get. Meanwhile, they are on the matches, and after that we'll have time to decide. So we have time to see if he's able to do it or not.
Did you say Kenny Miller wouldn't be in the squad for tomorrow, and is that just a case of resting him for Saturday?
Yeah, it's a question of giving him a break. So it's a question of for him to have a day off tomorrow, and he's going to enjoy with the family. So that's all. I want him to switch off from football at the moment, and after let the things run. So we have a squad that can give the job, can do the job tomorrow.
How much do you feel this week could potentially define your future at Rangers?
How do you mean that?
Just in terms of it's a big week for the club. There's been a lot of pressure, a lot of criticism in the media in terms of.
But this is the way we need to deal with it. You are new face here, right? So we are seeing and discussing for the first time. So you don't know how I deal with that type of situation. And I don't care about that situation. I just focus on my work. If I focus in that, so I might be near the TV or reading the newspapers all the time. I can tell you something. Steve, when I first came here on the reception, came to me with like a huge amount of newspapers on the first day. And I just asked him, why this? All the managers ask this. I came here to work. I don't came here to read newspapers. I don't watch TV, so I don't care about it. I'm here to do my job, and I'm focused on my job, and my job is about winning. After, if I don't win, I will be judged by that. Okay, it's part of the job as well, but I'm not thinking about it.
What message do you think 2 wins in this week could send out to the rest of Scottish football?
First, we need one. And the one is like I told when we were seated here before the Dunfermline game, that it was the most important game of the season. You know why? Because it's a knockout game. So you need to win tomorrow, yes or yes, because in November you want to be in Upton. So that's the reality. This is a competition that only 4 games allowed you to take a trophy. And we are a long time in this club by all the circumstances that everybody knows, away from the titles. So we cannot refuse this chance to do everything tomorrow to get on the semi-final, and after that thinking about being in the final, but one at a time.
It was quite a fiery game on Friday. Do you expect any of that to carry over?
It's interesting. It's interesting because normally you watch the teams, the opponent teams playing against maybe the fourth opponents before they play against us. And normally in those opponents we have been top teams, like playing against Celtic and Aberdeen. And I don't see the same behavior. I don't see the same aggression that they have in those teams that they have in our team. I'm not criticizing. I'm saying that we need to know how to deal with it because it's happening, and it's happening in a regular basis. So it's one more thing that we need to care about it. Not get on the opponent's game, playing our football, but when it's time to fight, it's time to fight.
Why do you think that is?
No, I don't. I just make a constatation. It's a fact. I'm not saying why it's happening like that or the other way around. A fact is that it's happening, and we know how to deal. We need to know how to deal with it.
So you need your team to show more aggression, you think?
No, I don't think that aggression is paid with aggression. Football is not about aggression. So you need to have your tools. In order to know when you need to divide the balls, you need to be strong to divide the balls. You need to be combative, not aggressive. That's my perspective in football. But play your football and don't focus in that type of situation. But knowing that since the very beginning, that is going to happen against yourself.
Has that surprised you then, what you think's happening with teams being more aggressive against Rangers?
No, it's not a surprise, as I told you. It's just one fact that we need to know how to deal with it. So when you analyze the things and you see the scenario and you go for the reality about facing each one of the opponents, you see that the things are going in that direction. So that's the reality we need to face.
Did you have to have a word with Josh Windass after his gesture to the Partick Thistle fans?
What gesture?
He made a gesture when they had the ball to give it back.
No, I didn't saw it. So if I didn't saw it, normally I cannot discuss nothing. When I analyze the games, I analyze it with our camera, so to have a wide perspective, and I saw nothing from it. But I saw in that angle, in that perspective, I saw Edwards with Jack. That I saw, because the camera was on that side. It was quite clear.
What did you think of it?
No, it's a thing. It's normally the referees are there to decide, and they take the decisions. By the end, they will be good or bad decisions, and I'm not no one to criticize them because I'm also a decision maker.
Should the Scottish FA take action against Josh Windass? How concerned would you be about losing him for this?
I don't know nothing about what you are talking, but I think that if there's something to judge about it, I'm the first one that is going to judge it. So if I'm here to feel the rules and the principles, I need to feel it, and it needs to be clear for everyone. But attention, if by any sort of reason, I don't know what Josh did, if did and is punished, everyone needs to be punished. The previous one and the furthest ones up in front. So if it's clear and if it's the same treatment for everyone, I raise my hand and say, perfect, let's go ahead.
Pedro, in terms of the game on Friday, was there anything by how Partick Thistle played that surprised you in any way? They
changed the formation. It was the first time they played with three on the back. So maybe they did it because we were playing 4-4-2. So to be always in a numerical advantage on that zone of the park against our two strikers, and they left just two players in the midfield and one striker and two players floating in between lines to explore the space, and after make the switch of play after they win the second ball and open on the wide areas to place the cross. So that's basically the way they play. But yes, they changed the formation. And we were expecting a different formation. Not a different type of play, but a different formation we were expecting, yes.
How much of a concern is it after your second half performance, as Ryan Jack was just in saying that he wants the side to perform over the whole 90 minutes a lot more consistently? And from the first half to the second half, did you see a drop in the performance, or were you concerned by that going forward?
No, I can tell you that, for example, I have a clear process in order to analyze the games and feel the way the things are going. One of the things that normally we analyze on the opponent is the kickoff ball. So some of the teams were having the kickoff ball long one. Other teams are having like Partick, that they receive the ball and try to drive in between our lines, and that happened. So when that happens, I didn't feel good because we know that that thing was going to happen, and we did nothing to prevent just on the kickoff ball. So that means that we were expecting one team to be proactive rather than be reactive. I think we had the control of the game on the first half, and we could have killed the game. I already watched the game twice, but we didn't have very good decisions on the last third. So the last pass was difficult. When the ball was getting there on the box or one cross was not finding our player, always an extra legs or extra pair of legs down there to sustain. And the team had that proactiveness after we scored the equalizer on the second half. After that, we have the totally domain of the game. We have a lot of balls on the box. We have a lot of situations that we could have scored, but we didn't. But regarding to the control, yes, we need to have more control on the game, and we need to have a better occupation on the park, especially on the 3 lines, which are called assistant, are the players that are in front of the line of the ball, the coverage line, which is staying too distant, so as the preventive coverage, which is also too distant. So that means that we are playing too long, and we need to play more as a block. So that's why we cannot sometimes arrive on the time to give support to the strikers or to the forwards. Sometimes the forwards, like we did in this game, were not keeping the ball for the arrive comeback. So that allow us, especially in the first half, to be a transition game, up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's not definitely the type of game we want. We score the first goal in a moment the team needs to be balanced when he's attacking. So that's why on the coverage line, we recover the ball, and the same player that recovered the ball can perform the first transition pass up in front. In just one single pass, Morelos is facing the goal and he scores. So that's what we want.
How is Graham Dorrans? Has he not been well today?
Is well today, yeah.
He's well, okay.
What do you know about Graham?
Did he not train today, Graham Dorrans?
He trained, but he
Okay.
received a specific training.
Misinformation then.
You know that I'm really clear with the things. I'm not going to hide nothing. I think everything it needs to be clear and crystal and frontal. No, he just received a specific training, so he's ready for tomorrow, and he's going definitely to start tomorrow as well.